Hello, everyone from Pasadena, California. We are here live at Techno Security and Digital Forensic Conference.
We
And I'm
are.
sitting here with Jennifer. If you don't know who Jennifer is, she's like the queen of the showroom floor. She makes sure everything
Eh,
happens the way it's supposed to. In most cases, she does. And if you mess it up, she's the one that's coming after you. It's a little scary every now
Thank
and
you,
then.
thank you.
So
I try to run a tight ship around here. You know, my
yes, she
dad was
does.
military, so I like things. I like rules.
I really don't know how you manage. How many vendors are here? Because we're looking across the showroom floor right now. It's a little loud in here, but how many are?
52 or
That is a lot.
53?
I don't know.
52 or 53, I
Yeah,
think.
so 50 plus, we're
More
safe.
than quite a bit more than last year.
Okay, so yeah, and it's a big showroom floor. So if one of the things that I've always liked coming to this show, because I've been coming to the East Coast show, but the front techno shows in particular, is if you want to attend classes, you can get your education update on the latest trends that way. But if you want to see all the cool widgets and gadgets, and I'm a nerd, I like to come see the cool widgets and gadgets. You have 50 some plus people out here showing their latest widgets and gadgets of how they can help investigators' jobs
We
be
do.
more successful. And
Yeah.
she has to manage them all. And each one has their own
Their
personality.
own personality. That's a very good way to put it.
Right.
But yes, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of overlap from our East Coast show.
Right.
So, the bulk of the people here are. But this year, actually, for the first time, especially with the e-discovery and a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
cybersecurity added in,
I'm going to slide this over this way
we
for you here.
we actually have more new vendors here.
Uh huh.
6 or 7 maybe new vendors.
Wow.
A couple internationals. So they add a little bit different flavor to it, and overwhelmingly, the new exhibitors here are thrilled. So trying to get them obviously to understand that this is a little less than half the size probably of the East as far as number of people. So hopefully they'll join us over there and realize what the big game is, the big dance.
Yeah, that's even larger, which is even amazing how it got larger, but it is. But yeah, I noticed a lot, like you said, a lot of new folks behind me, especially. There's some new over there, some new in the corner, and it's
Right.
always good to see new people coming out with because there's always a lot of innovation in the industry, and I don't think a lot of the people that don't attend the shows understand that because you know if it was funny when I'd always miss a show due to personal reasons or whatever. I'd be missing out. It's like, oh, you see this thing? It was there. And I was like, what? I missed it. It's like watching that show, and you completely miss out on
Yeah.
on the show.
And what's new? Yeah,
Yeah.
the one really cool one over here, SkySafe.
Yeah.
That drone they have on their table is massive.
I haven't had a chance to go over and talk with those guys yet. I'm gonna have to go check that out because I fly drones
Oh, okay.
recreationally. Yeah, and it's always a good time. I've only crashed it a couple times, so that's
I don't know.
it's a different story altogether. Remember, I came to Myrtle Beach with one that one time and was flying over the
The
yeah.
parking lot out back?
What's that? No, I
No,
went on out to the beach and
I don't remember
I
that.
actually caught dolphins that were.
I definitely don't remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I
So,
have the video. I will.
okay.
I will show you. I had it,
I believe it. You have the evidence.
I got
I'll
it
get
cleared
you.
with Myrtle Beach PD
It's
before.
not allegedly.
I
I
did
believe you.
Because usually when there's a story involving Kevin, it's a crash scooter at one of Jen's events, or
I'm going to give you a break. I wasn't going to bring it up
maybe not
this time. So,
memorizing something like
eh,
what night was it? Monday night.
it was a fun night Monday.
It was good times. It's
Yeah.
always fun at these shows
Thank you.
because I like them because it's like a little mini reunion because you get to see people that you haven't seen in a long time, and it's a lot smarter people than me.
Yeah, yeah. Seeing people, that's my favorite
still
part.
learning.
We see twice a year. Actually, this year I've seen everyone a lot more
Yeah.
because I've actually gone out with this cool booth behind us. I've actually gone out to different events. Yes, I'm at conferences, promoting conferences
Yeah.
legitimately. So I've had a lot of great time with a lot of you
That's
guys this year. I
awesome.
don't think I've seen you at anything else.
No, we
but
only
a lot of the vendors.
we've only gone to your shows this year, and I got one more to go to.
All right.
Osmosis Con, which is
Osmosis, yeah,
in
that's a great
OSINT
one.
World. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's the only other ones we're going to this year. So because we like
Well,
yours.
thank you. I feel cherished and honored that you would come to ours.
Of course, especially it's in Pasadena. First year here.
First year in Pasadena,
Yeah.
so it is the 5th year for our California
Mhm.
West Conference, as we're branding it.
Yeah.
First in Pasadena, first 4 were in San Diego,
Mhm.
as you know.
Yep.
Um, 2 of them affected by COVID, so it's been a little bit of a tough go getting this off the ground. I really think had COVID not happened, this one would mirror the East Coast in
Yeah.
size and scope
Mm.
already. That is the goal. A couple of the exhibitors I hope will step up to offer some additional content for next year in that titanium capacity, which is key. It's kind of that what came first, the chicken or the egg.
Right.
We got to get the attendees here, but they come for education and new innovation. So, incrementally, I hope it'll grow. And I think Pasadena's, people are like Pasadena, Greater LA, but this is a cool city.
It actually is, because I can't admit, I thought the same thing. I'm like, what's in Pasadena? Of course, my wife comes to the shows, and she's the research where we're going, travel, and she found the Michael Myers house is actually here. Did you know that?
No,
They
I did not
filmed,
know that.
They filmed it from the front. It's
Okay.
here somewhere. She found a couple other houses that they've used in movies, just right here within a short walking distance. And
Oh,
of course,
okay.
Route 66 is here. And I was talking to Rich, and he said he ate at this awesome restaurant that was on Route 66 shows all the time. So he went there and checked it out. All you have to do is just
You gotta look.
pop on a social platform, and you're going to find a ton of stuff. And I had no idea. It was pretty amazing. Like I said, if it wasn't for my wife there, I'm just
You're along for the ride.
travel stupid. I call myself geographically impaired. That's really what it comes
We
down
can
to.
find the bars and but the cultural things. She keeps you cultured.
Yeah.
It is. It's very cool. We have a lot on our website for it. It's just you've got to look for it sometimes. We do connect with the Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Yep.
The Rose Bowls here. I know a lot of our more athletic attendees and sponsors. It's a thing to run around the Rose Bowl. It's like about a 5K.
Really?
So I heard that some of our attendees went out there and did that.
Uber around it. That's more my speed.
No. But yeah, tons of restaurants nearby. Great food, great sushi. I hope to go out for sushi tonight. I've heard some great sushi recommendations out here.
I had, and my wife's not a fan. I like dim sum.
Okay.
And there's a really good place. Everything's just a quick short walk from here. It's not like in La Jolla last year, or San Diego, you had to always kind of Uber away.
You did. It
Here,
was very
it's
isolated.
You walk out of the front of this place, and it's beautiful. And we're going to get to more of why this place is awesome in a minute. But literally, you just walk across the street, and it's this big opening that goes into all of these different restaurants and shops. And you make a small left out of here. Then you're in what do they call it? The historic part.
The old Pasadena.
Old Pasadena.
We went there the other night.
Yeah, and there's a lot of cool stuff down there. Yeah. A lot of cool stuff. My wife said, what was it? We walked by this maple restaurant, and it was packed. We got here Sunday, and so Sunday night nothing was really going on before the show started, but that place packed.
Okay, good to know.
But I wanted
it's weird. It's so quiet during the day here. I'm
is.
like, where's this LA traffic? I mean, we're not in LA, but
It's not
like
LA.
quiet. And there's no cars parked on the street. Allison and I were walking late last night. We walked one of our colleagues back and checked her in. She was fine, but it's night,
Right.
a bunch of ladies out, and we noticed there's no power lines above the ground.
Nope.
So it's very clean and looking. The city is absolutely spotless,
Yep.
and there's no cars parked on the street. They have so much underground, and I guess garage parking that you would never even know a garage.
Right.
It's just the aesthetics of it, and then the mountains in the background.
No, the mountains are beautiful. I'm in Ohio, so I'm like, there's nothing.
Yeah.
Cornfields and bean fields, a lot of it. But we're up by the lake, so it looks like the northern ocean up there. But it's pretty here, and I had this vision, and it's just me, of like it's like part of LA, right? Because it's right there. You flew into LAX. It's part of LA, and it's not, because at some point you're driving in the Uber to get here, and it just changed.
Yeah.
And I actually asked my Uber driver, where are we right now? He goes, oh, this is Pasadena. And you can clearly tell it just changes.
Yeah, the architecture changes. There's very cool architecture here. Some of the government buildings that are around there, definitely some history. So I would love to spend some more time out here, but I'm going to go home and sleep for 3 days. So maybe next year I'll come out a little bit early.
So if you're looking for stuff to do when you attend conferences, which we always do, in the evenings we're like, okay, what can we do? Nicole always looks at stuff ahead of time, and I want to show this. And we did not know ahead of time coming here. At least I didn't. Did you know this was happening?
We did. So,
okay.
You want to show the clip first? Or you want me to kind of tee it up?
You go ahead and tee it up.
So, one of the things that this is a larger property, obviously. There's actually more people here. We'll get into that, but it's a larger property. So when there's other event space, be it meeting rooms, auditoriums, there's actually a complete expo hall next to us that doesn't have anybody in it. But one of the buildings at this property has been almost essentially owned, I should say, by the America's Got Talent show.
Oh yeah.
So they told us when we booked it, just to be aware, this is what it's going to be like. These are the time frames. These are this. You see right the corridor right out here. You see they're building all the soundstage. The Teamsters are out there.
amazing.
They do things all ahead of time and set it up outside and then bring it all in. So,
Did you see, by the way, when you walk out of the exhibit hall, you're looking out these glass doors, right? And you're looking right now. It's a trailer that's parked there, and you're like,
yeah.
what? Why is there a trailer right there? So earlier last night, right in front of that was a Rolls Royce. That was Simon Cowell's trailer, because he's got. If you guys have ever watched the show, he's got the yellow Listerine setting right on the. That's it. You can just see it just stand out right in front here, and there he was walking. Howie Mandel walks by. Heidi Klum walks by, and I can't remember. Oh yeah, Terry Crews, and I can't remember Sophia's. I never remember her last name. But I have to show you this, because Jennifer actually talked my wife and I to get the tickets to go over here, and I was skeptical at first. I have to admit, because I've watched the show a few times, but I went to be part of the live audience, and it was so much fun. We brought some guys from other booths, and it was just a lot of fun. So just to show you how close we were, I have a little clip here that I'm going to show that that was taken here. Hold on. So yeah, this is where I'm standing. Watch right there. How cool! There you go.
You better know her name now.
I know. I'm like, I probably won't watch the show. Well, I'll watch it just to find myself in the audience. Yeah, because
how far back were you from the stage?
Just row S, so we were like pretty close up. Right. But they have the hype guy, right? That gets the audience going. You got to clap above your head sometimes, and he's down in the corner where he's off camera. He's guiding everyone to do it. So when you see the audiences, they're doing all this stuff behind the scenes. It was fun. I have to admit, I'm more of a manly man when it comes to this thing, but that was so much fun.
Well, your kids watch it, I think. Nicole was saying that
they
kids
were
are
mad.
watching it.
They were mad because my wife actually turned on FaceTime, because when you're part of the audience, you can have your phone on certain times, but not when they're live. They get mad at you if you do that. But when they go to commercial break, hey, all day they're great about that. I mean, it was a fun time, and so we were FaceTiming my daughter who's 12 when it was going on, and you could just see her face increasingly get mad because we were there and she was not. Because literally we were probably from here to Sycombs over there, their booth, to where the judges would sit. That's how close we were. And they'd constantly turn around, just wave at crowds and stuff. And she wasn't happy about it. Yeah.
It was interesting to see yesterday tons of parents with their kids rolling up. The kids are just obviously super excited. There was several different lines and staging areas. I mean, from a logistics standpoint, I was watching it. I was Pasadena. Of course, I was out there talking to the police.
Right.
And being, hey, come next year to Techno. Here's the challenge coin. What do you do? What do we do?
Right.
But there was an entire row up all the way to the side of the building, and it was a lot of moms. Sorry.
Oh, I'm going to mute you just 1 second. I didn't want that crackling. It'll go. Oh yeah, much better.
I don't know, I'm so not tech, but I guess if there's like seats at the end, they pull people in, so they were kind of, I guess, hoping. But it was just so many kids, and just to see the excitement. I mean, I'm so not a Hollywood wild, but I mean, somebody could walk by and be like, "Hey, Tom Cruise, hey, whatever, nice day."
Right.
I could care less, but the kids were just so fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
And that Rolls Royce of Simon Cowell's next to that trailer, when they rolled up in that, it is gorgeous. It's got that old white wall tires.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I was more interested in the car than him. I was like, that is awesome.
Can I take that first spin, Simon?
But hey, so that's going on like next year.
It is. So we got a couple tickets. I know you guys got tickets. I actually would love to explore to see if maybe we can get a block of tickets. I don't know, 1,500, whatever. I got to talk to the people and see if we can maybe first come, first serve for Techno attendees and vendors next year. But just to
bring
be
your
part
families
of that
out.
experience.
Yeah, it was fun, and I had parent guilt suddenly, but it only lasted a few seconds and it was gone, so I was okay. But it's a good thing to have here. I was pleasantly surprised. It was a lot of fun. So tell me a little bit about some of the other differences here at the show. Now,
put me on the spot.
I'm going to put you right on the spot.
I mean, size and scope. Again, there's we're in our 25th year coming up for the East Coast show. This year, I don't know. I'm stressed. I've been so stressed this year. My boss is like, "You're going to take some time off." Yes, I'm like, "Yes, I
should
will."
talk to you first day opposed to third day. Always, we never do it. It's always the last day.
It's too busy. But going from both of our shows really, and
Right.
then we'll get into the differences. A small ballroom in a hotel where we
Hmm.
filled the whole space. We
Oh
had
yeah.
it all. It was all of our people. It felt nice. So it was just so packed in. For both locations to change from that to a convention center
Hmm.
format,
Hmm.
it just is so much work on our staff. There's so much that people don't realize that go
Right.
behind the scenes. You
Right.
have to now contract separately with hotels, separately with, the carpet here. We don't roll out carpet. We have to carpet this place wall to wall. Little things that you don't realize.
Right.
For Wilmington to go, I was very nervous about that going from, but the small space to the convention center, we had such an established audience there, and the benefit there was we were 45 minutes, 50 minutes up the road.
Yep.
So we
Yep.
still got that drive-in.
Hmm.
Here, the challenge is we went from San Diego to here, which is not driving.
No.
California is a
No.
big place.
Yes, it is.
So it's almost like a launch. It's
Mhm.
you got to establish yourself with the local driving customers, and our exhibitors are great at getting the message out to their group. But for us to get those local businesses who are not already familiar with our brand, who aren't in those circles that we travel in, despite all the additional marketing, it's a challenge. We actually offered a few one-day passes,
Hmm.
and we do that when we're in a new city. So the thought is, come see who we are, and then next year you budget and you plan on being there the full 3 days. So we had a really good response from some of the locals on that. A few of them came up and said, I would love to come back tomorrow. I know my pass. You know what? Come get educated. Come learn about the product. So the size, really,
Yeah.
like I said, the there's a little bit different in our demographics, very, very minor.
Hmm.
I think the e-discovery here was stronger because we launched it this year, last year, so it's really the second year for that. Um, I think they might have a little bit different flavors down the road, but we'll see. I think this year was a really good launching ground for the growth that can occur.
Yeah. No. It's nice. I like coming to the new venues. I enjoy it because again, you get to explore something different and new. And there's only and the one east in Myrtle Beach was the key lime pie. I did look forward to that, but if I can easily replace key lime pie,
You
that's
can
not a
easily.
big deal. But some of the things that you have changed, and now obviously people have to understand, and some people get a little weird about this, is and I get it. There's expenses and stuff involved, but like I've heard that, hey, where's the food?
Mhm.
Where's the food?
The lunches.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the new people don't know, but for those attendees who have been with us through the years, we did have lunch included at both of the conferences
Mhm.
before. When we went to this new format, it was the new cities and format. It was time to really evaluate some things. And
Okay.
one of the things that we got that we had to review is that the lunches. They were always included, but one of the biggest complaints we got on the East Coast was about the food, believe it or not, at the Myrtle Beach Marriott. No,
Right.
no knocking them, but when you're pushing it out in such a small period of time for mass quantities, there's not a lot of room for, you know, London broil and all these amazing yummy things. It was a lot
Right.
of pasta, a lot of salad, a lot
Yeah.
of basic stuff. So number one, we got complaints. Number two, we had not had a price increase on the attendee
No,
side
you have not.
for years.
It was a long time.
It was, and we still haven't. Now, 2024, there may be one coming down the pike, but we had to evaluate, coming off of COVID,
And-
people just starting to come back. Did we want to increase the prices? We didn't. So that was one thing, because right now we're a little pricey, but I think we offer a lot for the
I
value
do.
of the money on both the education and on the exhibitor side.
I think on the education side alone, it's well worth that price.
Yeah.
Well, when you look at other industries, it's well worth it. Besides that, you have this awesome snack bars down there. I'm looking at pictures of burgers and all kinds of stuff right down there right now. It's making me hungry.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's right there. I like it because this is open all the time. Because, well, as a vendor, I can only speak at that because I never got the chance to eat because
Mhm.
I was here and there
Right.
I was, and when lunch is going on, this is where you're at. But
Yeah.
afterwards, now I can just go anytime I want. I just go
and
get food.
and
It's more
they're
convenient
very
to me.
reasonable here.
Yeah, no,
And
it's really
healthy. You said burger, but you can
I'm-
get burgers and chicken tenders. But
good.
here in
Look
California,
at this. There's no health going on right here.
well,
There's
here
just
in
not.
California, they're a little more health conscious than you,
Yeah,
Kevin.
no.
So there's great salads, and they're really reasonable, $10 to $13 for that.
Yeah.
Their beverages are a little expensive, but that's one of the other things. The third thing I want to mention about why the lunches kind of went away.
Mhm.
A lot of the government folks told us, we promoted that lunch was included and breakfast was included.
Yeah.
And they reported back to us that they would lose their per diems
Oh.
for that. I don't know if the local guys, but the federal guys get a pretty good per diem for lunch.
Yep.
So this gave them the power to choose what
Choose
they
what they
wanted
want.
to
Right.
eat. So that was good. So
Liquid
obviously,
bread. There's different options. You can use that for dean money.
however
Sorry,
you
I
want.
was there at one time. I understand how the process really works,
Yeah. So yeah.
but it works out.
So
Yeah,
there's reasons, and I always
yeah,
just tell people, you know what? If there's number one, if you're here at the conference and you have feedback, always find me, find
yeah.
our registration staff on the exhibit side for
Mm-hmm.
me. On the content side, Allison,
Mm-hmm.
our information is out there on the website easily, and we do send very important. You guys can talk to me all day long, and I can go back and say, hey, this is what I heard, this is what they said, this is. If you put that in a quantifiable, quantitative format of our post-show attendee and exhibitor surveys, pitch for that.
There you
Please
go.
fill those out because then I can send that data up to
Yeah.
my senior management and affect change a little bit more.
Obviously, you guys are here for the attendees. I mean, it's
Yes.
the experience, right? You have to. I mean, and you guys have always done a great job of educating folks in the sessions. I know you're huge on it because I just heard you yell. Where'd he go? I'm not going to call him out by name. I just heard you yell at a speaker because they gave a little sales pitch at the end. They just don't allow that here, which is phenomenal. I love that because it's a learning thing. He's a friend of mine too, so I like that.
He's a friend, and I fussed at him. He is duly reprimanded.
Yes, exactly. Which we were behind this giggling, but it is.
So,
what it is.
yeah.
I think your chair is slowly moving
Am
down.
I sinking? Do I need to stand up?
Why is suddenly?
I feel very
there's a little
short,
button
yeah.
on the side. Here, hold on.
I'm used to feeling short.
All right.
My kids are like 6'8", 6'9".
I'm watching, and
So,
you're slowly going down in the seat. I'm like, why am I so much?
Maybe
I'm
I
not
need to
that
sit up taller.
That seat
There
is
you go.
decided.
I'm
There's a little black
tired.
knob over here on the right side. There's a black lever. If you stand up,
wait.
stand up. Pull. There you go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, see, that's why I was like, all of a sudden you start going like,
And getting further away from the mic.
where's
No wonder
Jenna?
you're like, where's she going?
Couldn't figure it out because I know we set that up ahead of time, and then all of a sudden you're down here, and then the mic's like at your forehead.
Yeah. See, this is why I don't do stuff like this because even a chair is too much for me.
This is
to
probably
do.
why I shouldn't do things like this. So I'll tell you one quick radio microphone tip, and then I know you're busy and you got to get going to your vendors here. So a little known thing I've been telling the other people that come. So there's a thing called the proximity sensor, a proximity effect, really, on one of these microphones. So if you hear my voice standing here talking like this, now I'm not going to change my pitch. I'm just going to get closer and listen what happens. You wonder how these DJs do this stuff. So as you get closer, did you notice how my bass really starts coming out in my voice? And I'm not changing. Do it. Just start talking and just kind of give it a lean in.
Kevin, this is a really cool thing to learn. Oh, yeah.
And then if you add that extra little bit, and then you can really get down in there.
Okay, now we're getting a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
Let's back out of here. We don't need people coming over asking.
It's like, what are you guys
I want to try it. Can you record
doing?
that for my? Never mind.
I guess you guys have to see it in context because literally we're in the showroom floor and there's people walking by just like inches behind the camera here, and they're looking at us like, what are those two
They
doing?
clearly don't know us. They
Yeah,
just definitely don't know us. But come introduce yourselves. Come get to know us.
Yeah. So technosecurity.us.
Technosecurity.us. Yes.
I have it memorized actually because we go there often.
Both events.
Where you guys can go and check out future shows. The next one is in June.
June 4th
What's the
through the
dates?
6th,
4th
back
through the
in
6th?
Wilmington.
That's
Our 25th edition. Just now we'll be shifting and focusing on that. Letting people get through the fall events before we really start selling those booths. The call for speakers for Wilmington will go out in October.
Oh,
so
okay.
I know
That's not far
sometimes
away.
you speak. So,
Yeah. I haven't. I've been skipping a few.
Yeah.
People are much smarter than me now, so I just hang out.
Yeah, I don't know half. It all goes over my head. Allison does an amazing job.
She does.
And our advisor board. Shout out to both of our advisor boards on both shows. He's on this one.
This one. Yeah, I'm on this one.
You blew off our advisor board meeting to go to the
What are you
America's
talking
Got
about?
Talent.
Anyway,
I just
look at that.
realized
We gotta go. We're out of
Anyway.
time. So
No.
I actually forgot completely about it. I'm gonna have to go
Well, I'll
apologize.
share with
to
you what I
Allison.
learned from our California-based people. It was actually very, very interesting.
All right.
So shout out to them because all those. We get so many amazing topics submitted, and anybody can submit. We are not pay to play. Anybody can submit in academia, out in the industry. And then our advisor board goes through them, vets them. We toss out the sales pitches. We try.
Always
get busted like our friend there.
And I tell you,
yeah.
I'd say, that's I think it's going to be just that. And
Yeah.
whether it's a great process what you guys have in place.
Well, thank you.
I really like it.
The attendees come for the education. That's why their employers are sending them here. So there is opportunity for product demos at certain levels. So that's where that is appropriate. If people are interested, that's where they go. So that will come out in October, close probably December.
Okay.
and then we just do it all over again. So be ready for
Awesome.
that. And then for next year here, that's one of the questions that has come up time and time again.
Mm-hmm.
Last year in San Diego, we were the third week of October.
Mm.
Um, I would love to see this early November. They offered us early November dates next year, but it's presidential election year. We are not doing
Oh,
that.
yeah.
They offered us some October dates. I was actually at the Crime Analyst Conference 2 weeks ago, and unfortunately, they announced their dates. We don't have a big overlap on Crime Analysts. We do have a little tiny bit that I'm seeing, but we have the same dates as them next year. So I'm trying to shift them. I don't know. Again, there's so much that goes into this.
Right.
If we'll
And,
be able to do
and
it.
you miss America's Got Talent if you move it, though. The big
Oh,
draw.
maybe. I
The
don't know.
big draw.
In the spring, that's supposed to be huge.
Oh.
They do 2 a day instead of 1 session a
really?
day, I've heard, in the early parts.
Oh.
So
well,
I
see.
threw out, what about, early December? What about
Hmm.
end of January, beginning of February? What makes sense to try to get that federal close?
Right.
September 30th, the end of the fiscal
Mhm.
year for a lot of the agencies out there, not just federal and learning. So there's a lot going into that.
Yeah.
So right now we are September 16th through the 18th next year. Stay tuned. If it makes sense to shift the following year, we will. We're always exploring things. So again, in those surveys, let us know what you think. So,
Yeah. Feedback.
So yeah.
Give feedback. Well, Jennifer, thank you
Yeah.
so much. As always, it's awesome to have you on. And
Thanks
thanks
for
for
having me.
having us at this awesome event that you guys put on every year.
Well,
It's,
thank you.
it's a lot of fun coming out here and
Yeah.
just and talking to folks in the industry about what's going on, the latest stuff that's happening.
Well,
So,
thank you
again,
for what you do.
I
I send
appreciate
people
it.
your way when they need to learn about the industry. So we work well together. So
And I refer them elsewhere. What was that strange noise that just occurred? Anyway.
something's happening.
Yeah, I know. So there's a big cheer that just happened or
That's
something.
good. That means there's people in here. We
That's
closed
right.
the exhibit
There's-
hall in less than an hour, and there's still people in here. So.
Yes, awesome.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice. Thank you.
All right. Hey, thank you very much.
Yeah,
And
thank
we're going to be
you,
going
Evan.
live maybe one more time. I don't know. We'll see. If not, Friday shows are going to kick off regular again, and we'll definitely have you on a Friday
love it.
show before East gets kicked
Okay.
off. So thank you guys so much. And we're live from Pasadena, California, here at Techno Security Conference. We'll see you guys later.